In Google Ads, mostly people think like it's most of the technical part, like bidding strategies, like the data analysis and the account training, something like it. But actually, it's the marketing. I'm recording this video to show you how you plan it, how you work on the marketing side of your Google Ads. And I have created a 9-step framework that I'm going to share with you. And it's actually the structuring campaign in Google Ads. So that's why I named the topic how to structure campaigns in Google Ads. So let's start. And in the start, we have why this structure matters, and then we have the framework, and then there are some real world examples. If you don't want to take some notes, then I have the notes at the end. Just follow the checklist, and that's the core of all of this guide. And at the end, I have a few questions, FAQs. If you want to go through it, you can. And then we have some glossary. I'll be using some terms. If you do not know those terms, just go to the glossary and make sure you know all of them before you move towards the guide. Or I'll be explaining a few in the guide. And there are going to be a few key takeaways. Again, they are going to be related to the notes of this guide. Anyways, so let's start with why it matters. If you have a good structure, you can rely on your Google Ads. Otherwise, it's gonna fail sometime, anytime. Let's say one day we are getting some results, 1 week we are getting results, and the next week we started seeing they're not good, or they're not generating the same results that we were getting the previous week or month. And just like that, let's say there's another point. It's related to the improvement. Can you improve your campaign? Let's say uh, in the marketing, usually we have a core plan that is generating the revenue, and there's a plan that is supporting the first plan, that is improving the first plan. So it's like finding something that can work, and then implementing it, including it into the first plan. So it's actually the testing process. You improve your campaign through a testing process. And apart from that, Google is working on AI. If you organize it, it's gonna learn in a better way. If you do not organize it, even you will not be able to understand what's what what is all of this data saying to you. Like, you have to extract the information out of data, but if the data is messy, you're done. So that is why you organize campaigns. You organize it in a good structure. And before moving to the all the parts of framework, let me show you how a good structure looks like by looking at some real world examples. Let's say at the end we have these examples. Here, example one from a jewelry brand. Here we have a campaign for branded search, then we have a campaign for non-branded search, and then we have a performance max, and then we have a shopping campaign. There's another set of campaigns that usually we include. It's actually the test campaigns, copy of all of these campaigns. And just like that, let's say for a local service firm, we have a brand search campaign that is based on tags. Is basically, if you go down, let's first understand this tags concept, because otherwise you won't be able to understand what are we saying. It's basically having a single theme group. Instead of having just one keyword or a lot of keywords into an ad group, you create an ad group of like 3 to 5 related keywords. That's it. That's actually when you have multiple ad groups of having keywords of 3 to 5 numbers, then it's actually you can say this strategy calls the stack strategy. Anyways, if you come back to look at this branded search, we have some terms related to the brand, and then we have non-branded search terms, and then we have branded search terms but in a different location, and then we have non-branded search terms in a different location, and then we have a performance max and a hero campaign is basically something where you are generating very good results. Let me scroll down to the glossary. We also have this hero. Yes, here. Dedicated campaigns for top performing products or keywords with proven high ROAS usually receive 70% of your allocated budget. For example, if running shoes term is generating good ROAS, then just create dedicated campaign for this keyword, or one campaign for multiple dedicated winning keywords. So just look at this structure. We have like 6 campaigns and 70% of budget is being spending spended on hero campaign. What are the rest? Or maybe let's say if not 70%, this must be generating very good results, more than 50% of the results. So all the others are just sporting and feeding this last campaign, so that we can find what's working for us and we spend maximum amount on it and can gain a lot of good results. Anyways, I'm gonna go on the top and start discussing all the points. How are we going to organize it? This is going to be the 9 step framework. In the first, we'll be having define your campaign goals and types. If you're launching a campaign, you must have a clear goal. Obviously, whatever step we are doing in the life, we must know what exactly do we need to get out of it. If it is to just awareness, then we'll have to be aware of it. That's pretty basic, so you can just ignore it. If you don't want to ignore it, just read through all the points that I have mentioned here. Identify the primary business. It's like before you jump in and you launch the campaign, you need to understand the primary business, primary goal of the business, and then and then select appropriate campaign time. What sort of campaign are we going for? Are we going for with the high intent keywords or display awareness or anything like that? So in start, we are defining our campaign goals and types. Which campaign are we going to select and things like that. Anyways, there are a few tips and red flags that we need to avoid. Setting up too many campaigns without significant budget is not going to help you, obviously. And starting with complex automation before understanding the basic management. It's like if you don't have 30 to 50 conversions and you start with the PMax campaign. The PMax campaign is sort of like the automated campaign. You cannot start with the automatic campaign without having some results in your account. And apart from that, using broad campaigns like increasing average. Okay, so you cannot use the broad match types, and then later on if you have to scale, you just increase the budget. It's going to mess up the whole account. And mixing the search and display targeting in the same campaign, it's just a few red flags that you need to avoid. And moving forwards, the second part, it's organizing the campaigns by search theme or segments. For example, organized by products. If you have products like men's shoes and women's shoes, then have build separate campaigns for these. And if you are targeting different locations, here you need to understand one major concept. Does not matter. I'm not creating a rule of thumb for categorizing the products or categorizing locations or categorizing the funnel stage. You need to find what's the most important setting for you. Like in all of these three, which one is the most important factor for you? For example, for some brands, have targeting a few products is very important, or maybe targeting specific locations is very important. So you need to create campaigns based on the most important factor that you have. For example, let's say you want to just target the New York, or maybe you want to target multiple locations. Then I won't be creating separate campaigns on the basis of products in the start, because the more important factor we have right here is location rather than the product. So based on the important factor, you will separate the campaign. That's how you are going to organize, and you can create multiple campaigns for all of these factors. For example, if we are using the location factor, then we can use a separate campaign for New York and for separate campaign for Los Angeles. But usually most of the time for e-commerce brands, we segregate campaigns based on the products, based on their categories. But there's one important point. Every separate campaign should have a strong meaning, and it should be different from the other one. For example, if we are creating one campaign for men's shoes, then it should be different. It should not be including any women's shoes at all. So anyways, if we go down here, we'll be having some red flags like mixing unrelated products or services, just like what I just mentioned in the previous line. And then over segmentation, like do not create a lot of campaigns. We have to use the ad groups or asset groups wisely. We can have like 4 to 5 asset groups, and then do some categorization in asset groups. Or if we are going with the search campaign, then we can have a few ad groups, and we can do some segregation in the ad groups, and then we can do some segregation based on campaign level, like campaign A, 2, 3, and A, B, C, and D. And this is very important point. Inconsistent naming or confusing names of the of the naming. Naming is just very important. If you look at it, you should get an idea what is this campaign. So it's just that, so that we don't have to worry about naming or spend our brain power on figuring out like which campaign was it. We just look at it and then see, and then start analyzing the results or start analyzing the data that we are seeing there. That's why we need to improve the names. Anyways, it's not important, you already know. And not considering the customer journey. Okay, obviously this is very important as well, but I'm not going to explain. Anyways, I'm going to move forward toward the next part: separate branded and non-branded campaigns. This is also very important. You should not have branded keywords into non-branded campaigns. For example, I was working for a brand. They were generating very good results. They were like, we are very happy, and we are generating very good results. Can you just do some tweaking and improve it? When I actually opened the account, they had non-branded campaigns, and they were getting all of their, most of their conversions from their brand name. So actually, it's not useful for them, because they are already ranking number one. If they, and no one is using their brand name in their campaigns, in or targeting their brand names to show the ads. I mean, I'm talking about the competitor. No competitor is targeting their brand name. So actually, if they launch the branded campaign or not, it's not going to help, because they are already on the top. Or if it is going to help, then the impact won't be large. So actually, in real, if we combine the result of SEO and Google ads, that was not good, because the most of the part was from the SEO, not from the Google ads. So if we, so that is why when I added non when I removed the branded campaigns from their settings, and total number of conversions went down a bit, but overall business sales went upwards. How? Why? Because now we are getting more customers, not just from the branded keywords. We are getting customers on branded keywords from the SEO and non-branded keyword, and we started adding more customers from the non-branded keywords that we never used in our campaigns. So that is why mixing up the branded and non-branded keyword, it's gonna hurt your strategy. You won't be getting the right idea what's happening in the backend. Anyways, let's see some red flags here. Not having the dedicated branded campaign while competitor bids on. Yes, this is very important. If competitor is bidding on your brand term, then you should have the branded, you must have the branded campaign. And mixing this line is like same that I was discussing. Let's ignore it, and not using brand terms as negative in the non-branded campaigns. Yes, this is also very important, because sometimes we do not add our brand name in the keywords, but still we are getting traffic from our brand name and getting some results from there. But to avoid this, we need to add a brand name as negative in non-branded campaign. Anyways, now moving towards the very important point. Like, this is the, if you say we have a whole, like a big stadium having all the Google ads knowledge, then the pitch of the stadium is going to be the most important point, and that is the most important point that I'm saying. Highlight the top performance. If you just bid, let's say I have an account, I'm spending like $10,000 and it's not giving me very good results. Instead of changing the whole structure, if I just pinpoint the top performance out from that 10,000 and start spending my $1,000 or $2,000 budget, I'll be almost getting same results. So it's like you get the maximum results from your top performance. You need to invest more there. So to invest more, we need to figure out what are our top performers. So then create, just like in the start I showed you this point where I was saying the hero campaign is something where you invest the maximum budget, or you expect the maximum results out of it. Anyways, in the fourth point here, let's see some red flags. What do we need to avoid? You can actually go through all the implementation checkpoints and pro tips. They are pretty basic, but these red flags, they are very important. That's why I am discussing them. Not separating proven performance from experimental ones. Obviously that it's like self-explanatory, like I don't have to explain it, but I'll have to push on it, like you must do this. This is very important part of the Google Ads. I have literally, just by this doing this, just following this one line, I'm not talking about any complex strategies in Google Ads, I have like doubled the results in Google Ads accounts. I have literally done this. So that is why separating proven performance and spending more on it is the very important and crucial part of Google Ads. Anyways, allocating equal budget to higher and low performance, this is red flag. Obviously, you'll have to spend more on high performance, and then not using campaign priorities on to prevent internal competition. It's like complex. If you're a newbie, just ignore it. Otherwise, when we have portfolio bidding strategies, when we have one same sort of bidding strategy for multiple campaigns, then and we have added test campaign in it and then high performance campaign in it, then Google is going to think like I'll have to treat both of them equally, but it's actually wrong. We'll have to treat the high performers one separately with more budget. So failing to graduate winning from it's failing to graduate winning products from testing to dedicated campaigns. You need to figure out the winning products and then shift them towards the dedicated campaigns. That's how you spend more on them. Anyways, if you find high valuable keywords, then you can create separate search campaigns for them. That's pretty basic. And then performance max and DSA, this is very very important point. It recently this campaign, performance max and DSA, are generating very good results. And the performance max, you should only start when you have some good data in the account, like 30 to 50 conversions at least in the account. Then go with the performance max campaigns. And it's like 30, and we need to expect 30 plus conversions per month from the campaign to train it properly. I have seen some good results even with the less number of conversions. It's just a best practice. Anyways, let's see the red flags here. Running PMax without sufficient data is going to hurt you, obviously. Not excluding branded terms, this is again very important. As I mentioned here, we have to exclude the brand terms. Performance max usually get the data from feeds. In the feed, we usually have the brand name, and if the performance max gets the data, gets the brand name from your feed, it's going to show your ads on the branded keywords as well. And if you want to avoid it, like in the strategically, in my strategy, if I don't want to spend on branded terms in performance max campaign, then I must add the brand name as the negative keyword. And the next point is structure the ad groups tightly. It's like the idea that I shared in the start, the SCAGs one. Let me go to the glossary again. The SCAGs one. And the start, I just mentioned, like you can let's say we have men's clothing, women's clothing, and then in the men's clothing we have tops and or maybe pants or maybe shirts. Then the structure of campaign can be like in ad group I'm adding pants and shirts and ties and things like that for men, and I have campaign name as the men. For women, then again I'm gonna create a few ad groups related to the product categories. Or so that's what I mean by using the single theme group. And the seventh part, structuring the ad groups tightly. Let's see what we have here. Maintain 7 to 10 ad groups per campaign. Group 10 to 20 tightly related keywords per ad group. You can add if you are using broad match or phrase match, this number is not very good. This is going to mess with your campaign. If you are adding phrase match or broad match, do not go with more than 5, and include 3 to 5 semantically related terms per theme instead of single ad group. It's like the tags idea that I just mentioned. Have a group of keywords, and then create 2 3 responsive search ads per ad group with main keyword in the headline, and ensure all the ads in ad groups lead to the single highly relevant landing page. And apply Hagukare method, aiming for 3000 plus impressions per week per ad group. This is a very good number to maintain a good to get some good results. It's like the best practice. If you get if you're getting a few more than this but you're getting good results, do not decrease your keywords to decrease the impressions per week. It's like an average number. You can go above it and below it as well. Anyways, there are some red flags as well. Skags methodology. Skags is basically using one keyword in per ad group. It's not working right now. It is the old strategy. Do not use it. Do not use it. Mixing unrelated keywords in the same group is going to hurt you. Creating too many ad groups, it is going to hurt you. And not updating the group structure as the account data and performance evolves. Obviously, we'll have to change the all of these settings after week 2 or maybe a month. Anyways, now comes the budget allocation of the bidding strategy and testing and refining. Basically, the most of the part of the structure ends here. Rest is the basics related to the budget allocation strategy and testing. How can you test and refine? And but let's see what do we have here. As I mentioned previously, for the hero products, for the hero campaign, we need to invest more. So we'll have to allocate the budget accordingly. Keep the experimental or testing campaign separately so that we can control the budget. That's pretty basic, and includes increase budget gradually, 10 to 20% increase to maintain the performance stability. This is very good, very important point. If it's as I mentioned in the start, this is like the whole Google ads. I'm not talking about the structure, but this information is very important. Let's say you have a structure, very good structure, and then suddenly you increase the budget and make it 50% or maybe like 100%. You're just playing a risky game here. If you're increasing like 10 to 20%, then it's gonna maintain the performance stability. But if you're not, if you're increasing more, maybe you can get some good results from there. I'm not saying that you cannot get good results if you're increasing like 50% or maybe 100%. You can, but it's risky. So that is why, to maintain the performance stability, increments of 10 to 20% is important. Sometimes we increase like 50% or maybe 100%, and sometimes it gave us very good results. So it's just risky. Anyways, follow the automation roadmap. Yeah, this is very important point from the bidding strategy point. In the start, we do not go with max conversions, or we don't go with target ROAS or target CPA. We go with the CPC, manual CPC. It's like we are asking Google, I don't want to get any click more than $3, or maybe more than $2, or maybe more than $1.5, but only get clicks on the relevant search terms. So that's how you maintain. You get a few conversions in the start, and then you move towards what, max conversions or maybe target ROAS strategy. So it's like here we are not talking about the structure. It's like the part of Google ads related to the bidding strategy best practices, but they are going to impact the structure. Anyways, you can read the rest, and let's see some red flags. Ignoring budget constraints that limit high performance. Obviously, you can just go through it. These are pretty basic. And last part is, again, it's related to the testing and refining. No doubt here, as I showed you, we have a structure just like this. Let's say I have a structure for my account. This is the structure. If I want to add some keywords inside this campaign, then I will need to launch a new campaign, test campaign, name it like test something, test dash branded search, something like this, and give it small budget and see how it happens, what sort of result does it generate. If it is giving you something good, then just add that keyword into this main campaign. That's how you do it. That's how you launch. Even sometimes we launch the whole test structure just like our main structure, and then see what's working, and then add it into our main campaigns. So that's the basics of testing and refining. And let's see, before we launch the campaign, we need to have goal, clear naming, organized by category or funnel or goal or whatever important factor you have. And then branded, non-branded, separate keywords must be separated. Add negative keywords, and initial budget should align with the goals. If the goal is to get very good conversions, then we are obviously going with what, more budget. And stacks architecture, and Hago query consolidation for volume, and portfolio bidding strategies. Portfolio bidding strategy is something like when you are generating very good results, when you have a good structure, then you can move towards the portfolio bidding strategy. And here we have the portfolio bidding strategy, advanced bidding strategy that optimize across multiple campaigns, sharing the same conversion goal and target ROAS or CP. It performs very good when you have a good when we have a good structure. For example, if we have search shoes, we have a group of search shoes, shopping shoes, and then performance max PMax shoes campaigns under one portfolio bidding with the 300% target ROAS, allowing Google to shift between the best performing. Let's say one day this campaign is not performing good, and PMax is generating us very good results. Then it's Google is gonna shift more of the budget towards the PMax shoes. But this comes later on, like when you have very good account, when you have very good account structure. And let's say we have launched, then what do we need to do? We need to do the weekly review. We need to move the best performers towards the hero campaigns. Like I said previously, hero campaign is the campaigns that are generating you the maximum results, that are generating the maximum revenue. So moving the best performers into these campaigns is very important. And we need to monitor search terms and add negatives. Usually people think this is just the Google ads. You just launch the campaign and then see what sort of negative terms are we seeing, and just add them as negative. That's the Google ads. No, this is Google ads, what I'm explaining from like past 20 minutes. And it just builds incrementally, obviously, like 10 to 20%. And refresh and add copies. Obviously we need to update our ad copies and creatives, and apply attribution and measurement frameworks. It's like these are actually the measurement frameworks. This is the framework that we have here to measure the data card in a systematic way. Anyways, you can read the rest, and all the red flags that I have mentioned up till now, the most important ones are mentioned here. And then we have some examples, and that's it. Here are the key takeaways. Start simple. If your account is new, expand as the data grows, and always separate branded with the non-branded campaigns. Highlight top performance in dedicated campaigns, and test systematically and document changes. Provide significant data volume for AI optimization for PMax. Use tags architecture with the Hago Carre consolidation. Leverage custom labels and query sculpting. This is something that we did not discuss. It's more of related to the Google Merchant Center, but in the technical details we can discuss these. Implement the modern performance max best practices. So with the solid structure in place, you will give Google the clean signals it needs to optimize effectively while retaining the control over budget and strategy. That's why we build a solid structure, and that's how we build a solid structure. So that's it. If you're getting confused in any point, you can comment down below in the video, and we'll see if we can help you with the confusion. That's it. Take care. Bye.